Literally nothing else makes sense in this timeline anymore, so why not do a jigsaw puzzle made by a ketchup company? Hi everybody, welcome back to Karen Puzzles. Today, it's finally the day. I'm about to do the ketchup puzzle. Okay, so if you don't know what this is a marketing publicity stunt released by Heinz. When quarantine was like really getting going, Heinz was like, let's make a jigsaw puzzle and let's make it solid red. Like this design that's on the front of this box, this is not the puzzle design. The puzzle is just red. There's no design at all. They released a couple photos and they were giving them away on Instagram. Originally, they said that they were only making 57 of them because of the 57 varieties of ketchup, which I actually think is a myth. I don't think there are actually 57, but anyway, for a little while you could buy these online. They have since sold out, so I don't think you can get it anymore. But I don't know if you would really want to. I don't think this is gonna be fun. You might remember the only puzzle on this channel that I didn't finish is the Areaware gradient puzzle, where the bottom 2/3 was all one solid color, and I was just like, I'm done, I don't want to do this, and I just was over it. I also did the Ravensburger Krypt puzzle, which is also a solid color. That I did finish, but it took me 3 days, and that one had a unique puzzle cut, so you could use the shape of the pieces to figure out which pieces went where, whereas this one, from the photos I've seen, is just a standard puzzle cut. So it is only 570 pieces, which should be doable in a day. You know, I really don't want to spend more than a day on this, so we're just gonna see how it goes. We're gonna open it up, we're gonna take a look, we're gonna just try it out, and if I decide that I don't want to do it, that is my right, because this is my channel. Just setting those expectations really low, okay? All right, I think it's time. Let's open her up. So if we open it up, the design on the box is super simple. You can see it on camera. They literally left 2 sides and the back completely blank. I do appreciate that the entire thing, even the inside of the box, is red, but they really don't give you any information, like the size of the puzzle, maybe. There is this little card inside, but it doesn't really say anything beyond, this is going to take you a long time, so good luck. The pieces themselves come in a resealable bag, which I like, but the pieces are way bigger than I expected. I feel like how I felt when I dumped out all the pieces when mixing the 10 100-piece puzzles. It's just so much physical space that the pieces take up. They're pretty glossy, but that doesn't really matter since there's no picture. And the cardboard is really thin. This is definitely not a high quality jigsaw puzzle. There does seem to be every standard type of piece, but I noticed that the variation between pieces was very low. And I'll be talking a lot more about that as we go on. Oh boy, so I just opened up the puzzle, as you can see behind me, and I think I was right to be nervous. All of the connectors at first glance look exactly the same. It looks like there's like no variation in piece shape, so I don't know how I'm gonna put this together. I mean, I guess it's time to get started on the edges, but this is gonna be a tough one. I think I'm gonna be in here literally all day. So it's time for the sorting. Of course, I sorted out all of the edge pieces, but I also sorted the inside shapes by piece type at the same time. You guys, this is the craziest puzzle I've ever seen. This is bizarre. What monster in the Heinz marketing department came up with this. Let me show you. So I just finished sorting all of the pieces. So over here we have the edges, but at the same time that I sorted out the edges, I also separated the pieces into piece types because that's the only way that you can do a puzzle that's one solid color. But look at these stacks of pieces. Every single piece of the same shape is the exact same cut. Like there's no variation between the separate pieces within each piece shape. I've never seen that before in a jigsaw puzzle. So I guess theoretically that might make it easier because I don't have to go within each of these pieces within each shape. I just have to find a configuration where all the piece shapes fit in the rectangle. But that makes it more of a brain teaser and less of a jigsaw puzzle, which is defined as like, you know, a picture that's cut up that can only be put back together in one way. But let me show you what we've got. So up here, I left any piece that was already attached together. Normally I would separate these, but with this puzzle, I will take all the help I can get. And then we've got a stack of 4 ins and 4 outs. These are the mirror images of the 2 in and 2 out on the corners. Then we've got these castle looking shapes. We have these tall ones, and then we have these short ones. This is your standard jigsaw puzzle shape. So again, we have a tall one and we have a short one. And then we have, again, a tall one and a short one of this shape. And it's actually kind of funny. If you look at the side, you can see exactly how many of each type of piece there is in this puzzle. It's like a real life bar graph. So before I got to any puzzling, I actually did more sorting. I sorted out the edge pieces by piece type. And let me just tell you now, the sorting was the easiest part of this whole puzzle. All right, so far this puzzle has been like an hour of sorting and literally no puzzling. So on the edge, I separated out the pieces by shape again, so you can see that there are just a couple of each different type of shape, and we have these shorter pieces and these taller pieces, which are going to be the top and the bottom and then the sides. So I guess now I just kind of go for it. I mean, I don't know what strategy to use. Oh wait, okay, so those don't quite go together. So maybe all of the connectors aren't all the same. That looks like it might go together. It's not perfect, but this puzzle doesn't seem to be the highest quality in the world, so maybe the connectors aren't going to be perfect. I don't know. I really don't know what I'm doing with this one, you guys. This is so bizarre. I have no idea. All right, it's like 30 seconds later, a little update. I actually think my entire theory was wrong. I don't think these are all the same. You can see if I hold them there, like so that the bottom is all aligned, this top part, you can see that they are slightly different. The teeny tiniest bit different. Wow, okay, I guess we're doing this. Why? But why would you make this? Why does this exist in the world? Why would you do a single color puzzle with such little variation? It's just evil. Whoever made this is literally Satan. So as I got started on the edge, I had a little bit of a brainstorm, a little secret weapon that I pulled out of my back pocket. Was it a little shady? Maybe. Or maybe it was just smart. So, okay, I finished an entire side. I don't know if it's perfectly right, but, you know, it's close enough for now. Here's how I did it, and I will fully accept if you call me a cheater. I looked up a picture of the finished Heinz puzzle that Heinz released as a publicity photo, and then I just followed along with what shape of piece came next, so that at least I only had like a couple pieces to go through and not every single option. Am I going to do that for the entire puzzle? Yeah, potentially, maybe, but you know what? I have things to do, so I'm not gonna spend like days and days trying to figure this stupid, dumb puzzle out when I don't necessarily have to. I am going to work smarter, not harder. Even if you think that's cheating, that's fine with me. I'm fine being a cheater on this puzzle. So you can see that my strategy for working on this puzzle is that I would see what piece shape came next from looking at the picture, and then I would try each one of those pieces, sorting them into a no pile and a maybe pile. So then I tried all of the maybes again until I decided which one seemed to fit the tightest, and then I moved on to the next piece and I started the whole thing all over again. All right, so here's what's going on. It is 10:30, which means I've been working on this for an hour and a half, and I have not even finished the edge. I'm looking at the picture, but it's just so low quality that I can't always tell exactly what shape it is, and I keep losing my spot, so I'm sure that like half of this is wrong, and I'm just feeling so frustrated and just like over it. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave the rest of this edge for later, possibly never, but you know, we'll see how it goes. And maybe I'll start working on the bottom. You know, I'd like to get maybe a third of this puzzle done. I am fully resigning myself to the fact that I just might not finish it because it's just so terribly made and nobody should ever subject themselves to this torture.
5 minutes later.
Okay, so I'm literally on the first piece, and because I looked at the picture and I cheated, I know that it has to be one of these pieces. It is this shape, but I tried every single one. These are the definite no's, and then literally a third of them, you know, seemed to fit and were my maybes. Like, that looks fine, right? That looks like it fits, but oh wait. That looks fine too. That also looks like it fits. But oh wait. That also fits. This is just like the worst puzzle I've ever seen. It's not even fun. It's so badly made. You guys, I don't know if I can do this anymore. I mean, I haven't even finished the edge. I don't know. This is just not fun. This is literal puzzle torture. Why did they make it this way? Why would they do this? I need a break. I'll be back in a little bit. I'll give it one more go, but I don't know, you guys. I don't know. I wanted to finish it. I wanted to have the beautiful solid color puzzle photos, but at what cost? Is it worth it? All right, so I came back to try to give it another go, and you know what? I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm done. I cannot do this. You win, Heinz. You and your garbage ketchup puzzle, you win, okay? This is definitely the fastest that a puzzle has broken me and made me give up. But I still do have thoughts on those few hours of the worst puzzling I've ever done in my life. So let me get my thoughts together and I'll be back. But not to work on the puzzle, just to talk. Well, this is definitely not how I expected this video to go. If you're new here, I swear I'm usually very good at puzzles, but this one has some major issues. I mean, look, could I have spent 3 days trying piece after piece, methodically working my way through, trying to find the pieces that fit the tightest and rearranging them when something didn't work? Sure, but you know how else I could spend 3 days? Reading a book, working out, calling a friend, literally anything that enriches my life more than getting frustrated by this horrible puzzle. As I was working on it, I kept thinking to myself, is this how most people feel when they work on any puzzle? But here are the issues with it. And it's not just that it is a single color puzzle, because the Ravensburger Krypt puzzles are single colors and they are totally doable. But for a puzzle to be solvable. You need either a picture on the front or unique piece shapes so that something gives you some kind of hint that you have a piece in the right spot and you can move forward and make progress. And this puzzle has neither of those things. The pieces are so similar that for every single pair, I would have to hold it up to the light to see if there were any imperfections between them. And it's not like there were 2 or 3 pieces that seemed to fit in each spot. There would be like 20 that seemed like they could fit. It literally just felt impossible, even with following along with the image to make sure that I could even narrow it down to the piece type that I was looking for. And since it's a pretty cheaply made puzzle, it's just hard to know how much imperfection to allow for. So I just felt like I couldn't trust that any of these pieces, a single one, was definitely in the right spot. One of my biggest pet peeves with puzzles is when it has pieces that seem to fit, but they don't actually go where they seem to fit. And this is the worst offender of that I have ever seen. Like, look at this square of pieces. It looks okay, right? Looks like all the pieces are fitting together. Wrong. If we look at these pieces super close up, you can see that they don't actually go together. But you have to like really look for it to notice that. You know, I finished the edge, well, most of it, but I'm sure that something in here is wrong, and I just cannot be bothered to spend hours and hours of my life trying to sort it all out. I will happily spend hours and hours on a jigsaw puzzle that I'm enjoying, that is fun. I have spent 11 hours in one day working on a jigsaw puzzle before, and I'm happy to work on challenging puzzles. I've done plenty of challenging puzzles in my life, and they were hard, but they were rewarding when I finished. But the thing that I like about puzzles is seeing the picture come together and seeing the progress that I'm making, and I'm just not able to do that with this puzzle. So, you know what? I'm almost 30. I'm done spending my time on things that I don't enjoy, that I don't have to do. Literally, nobody's got time for that. Well, except for all of the people on Instagram who did finish the puzzle. So congratulations, I give you a round of applause. You did what I could not do. So I'm sorry, I wish I could have gotten a better video out of this, but for the sake of my own mental health and the sake of my to-do list, I'm done. I'm not gonna do it. So I would love to know in a comment, have you ever given up on a puzzle before? And if you did you feel bad about it, or was it like a weight was lifted off of your shoulders once you mixed it all back up? Between this and the one where I mixed together like 10 100-piece puzzles, I really think that I'm losing it a little bit alone here in my apartment doing impossible puzzles in quarantine. Is this gonna be every single one of my videos now? Anyway, I have plenty of puzzles behind me that I know I will be able to complete, so I will be back very soon with one of those. Your code word for the comments, if you've watched all the way to the end, is going to be impossible, because I think we all know why. All right, I'm gonna finish packing this up, but thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time.